Yes, that's true. Well, in construction in general, from what I've seen, I mean, there's a ebb and flow, a give and take, a push and pull to it. And the site superintendent from S&S Construction, Mike Tilley, is a Rockingham County native, and Mike's been really good to work with, and the folks that he has there. I know that Tyler Blackstock, also who's a Rockingham County person, is one of his assistants. And Tyler worked on when S&S worked on the Wentworth Community Center where the post office is, that renovation.
Mm-hmm.
He was a part of that project as well. So, and there's some good things that are coming together with that. I have a report to town council on that. One of the things that will be a part of the meeting as well, though, is that we will need to have a presentation from our IT provider, and we contract with Compute This, Rick and Andrew Wall.
Yep, that's who we use. Boy, they're the best.
Yes, they do a very good job. And they're going, I think Andrew, maybe Rick too, will be a part of the meeting and has some various proposals of looking at the actual cameras to use that we can use in the park. And I think the mayor is also interested in the possibility of adding some here at Town Hall as well. And I found a company, like I say with Ricotta, I mentioned them earlier. That's one of the ones that I think that Town Council will consider. And they even, as a part of their marketing, went so far as to loan us a couple of cameras that we have temporarily installed here at Town Hall to check them out, test them out. And it's a really interesting system with that. When I had worked with the school system, the ones we had used were where you had a server in your building and you had the program on that and the cameras fed directly to that server and you had to manipulate that. And that was a really time-consuming setup, not real efficient. I can remember as an administrator taking hours sometimes in reviewing footage, trying to make determinations as far as consequences for student conduct. The thing that's neat about the Verkada system is that it goes to the cloud. There, you pay a set fee for the camera and a licensing fee, and then all of the bells and whistles of manipulating it are through their software, and they make updates to that as time goes by, which is off-site. And the ability of those cameras is phenomenal. You can have a photograph of someone that's been on your property that the cameras are covering, and you can do a search, and it will locate all of the footage of or where that individual within that time frame has been on the property in various and sundry locations.
Wow, that's great, isn't it?
Well, and the thing that I think about with this park is the purpose behind the cameras is security. And, the town has been supportive in the past with the Chinquapin walking trail, for instance. And the volunteers there have put in countless hours in trying to make that trail, and it's a wonderful trail. But several years ago, somebody went in there with a pickup truck and drove over portions of it and just tore it all to pieces.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
And, I don't think that they ever determined who that was. If there is somebody that comes into this park and does some kind of damage, I want the type of surveillance that we have there to be able to nail them.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
and make them pay.
Yeah.
I think that I know that in one of the meetings we were talking about the security issues, and one of the people that was commented on Facebook Live during that meeting, my son reported this one to me, said they come in to try and tear up our park, I'll come over there with my shotgun and take care of them.
Well, there you go.
I don't want to do that. I mean, but I would prefer. And the sheriff's office, we contract with them for law enforcement. Sheriff Page has said that that they would be willing to have access to the camera footage and help monitor that. And the thing about it being in the cloud, I can monitor it here in the office. It can be monitored from the sheriff's office. And I even have an app on my phone right now where I can look in on the office if something, with the 2 cameras that we currently have.
While you're at the beach.
Well, I could have. Yes, I could have. Of course, I was trying not to get blown away by a hurricane,
Yeah.
or the remnants of one.
Yeah.
But it's an interesting system, and this is a substantial investment by the town into the park. I think that every citizen that I've spoken with who has called in and inquire about it are really excited about the things that we're doing here with this. I think town council's made some really wise decisions and everything with that, and we're getting good sound construction and doing some good things, I think, with it. So hopefully with the cameras, we'll resolve what direction we're going to go with that at the town council meeting on September 1st.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, as we've talked before, there's so many pieces to this park puzzle, and it's all some issues along the way, as you mentioned, but all coming together, and at some point it's going to be just great to have it.
It's a truly collaborative effort.
Yeah.
You have the leadership from town council in making decisions and giving direction. You have really skilled workers who are working on the various components of the park, the architectural firm with the design. I mean, it's the engineers with making sure that, and there's just a lot of components to it, and it doesn't happen by accident. It's happening by design and with a lot of thought and hard work. So,
but exciting for you and everyone involved to make that happen, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for the updates on several things there. That's great. Always good to find out what's happening. Anything else before we wrap it up, George?
The one. This is just a personal note. I know that the town, and as each of the municipalities and county government as well, has been involved with the 2020 census taking place.
Yeah.
And there are some initial things that each municipality and the county government does in trying to ensure that we get an accurate counting there. That is, participation in that census is so important for the resources that can find their way to the town of Wentworth, to any of the municipalities, and to Rockingham County. And if there are people out there who have yet to participate, to fill in, to do what they're supposed to do as far as the census, they really need to go ahead and take care of that. I think that the percentages that I'm seeing from the demographer who's central in North Carolina and sends out stuff, Rockingham County's close to upper 60, 70% response rate at this point in time, and there's not a lot of time left. And this is something, for Wentworth itself, we at present do not levy a property tax. We receive a distribution of sales and use tax based on a per capita basis. Per capita meaning per citizen residing here.
Mm-hmm.
All right? And if that number is lower than what the actual number of folks living here is, that's going to affect the kind of funds that are coming in to help support the projects that the town does without levying a property tax. There are federal programs that also are affected for the county and for the other municipal governments, that those distributions are affected by population count. And we really need an accurate accounting of who's residing here. And we're coming up on the crunch time for that. We're near the end of the time with the census, and I really want to encourage folks to do their civic duty and participate in that census. It does not take much time to answer that questionnaire. And it is not very intrusive.
No, you do it online. And if someone comes to your door, I know I've heard some negative things about some people. They won't let them, they won't let them participate. They don't want to participate, and that maybe being rude to some of the census takers. There are several dozen things involved in how we are doing things in the future here in Rockingham County in a very positive way. That census is vitally important.
Absolutely, and that's across the country. And these people who are that are having to go to residents and do the questionnaire in person because the person hasn't either been able to or reluctant to respond online with it. They're our neighbors.
Yeah.
I know years and years ago, my wife's father did this and he was he's a farmer, tobacco farmer here in Rockingham County, but he participated as a census taker at that time.
Mm-hmm.
The technology that we have now, if you have a computer and can get online, answering it online, I think if I remember, it took me less than 5 minutes to answer that.
Oh, me too. Yeah, 3 or 4 maybe.
But I know that, people need jobs. I know these people that are working as census takers, need employment and that kind of thing. But making their lives more difficult when they're your neighbors, when they're your fellow citizens, not a good way to go.
No, certainly isn't.
Yeah.
Okay, everyone's involvement is needed. Okay, well, George, always great. Thank you for your time. I know you're awfully busy. Hope the meeting next week goes well.
Well, thank you very much. As always, it's good to talk with you, Mike.
All right, have a good weekend coming up.
You too.
Thanks. George Murphy is Wentworth Town Administrator, covering a lot of important things. Again, that meeting is September 1st, 7 p.m., and you can catch that right there on the website and get more information there as well at townofwentworth.com.